First thing to notice is we only have a 9 by 9, so things are going to be pretty packed up. There's some specific things about 9 by 9 grids that you need to keep in mind that'll help. And that's specifically this configuration. This is invalid because we need 8 stars and we can only fit 3 stars if we have all of these x'd off. So how many stars are in here? Well, it can't be 0 because then we would only have room for 1, 2, 3 in these two columns. Same over here. So there's at least 1 here and at least 1 here. So could it be 2? If it were 2, then I would need, in these 4 columns, I need 8 total, so I need 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I technically could fit 6 in. Okay. What are these E's? What are these ones? These are 0, 2, or 4. Well, it can't be 0, obviously. I don't have enough room here. Could it be 4 or 2? Well, if this is 4, now I've got 4 here, and I need to fill in. I only have 6 to spend on these columns, so now I only have 2 for all of this. Well, there's nowhere that I can allocate 2 stars in these columns without making that deadly pattern. See, if I put it here, for example, well, I see I need to put 1 here. If I didn't put it here, I'd only have room for 3 in the two rows. So this must be a star. And now again, for the same logic, this must be a star. And we have the bad situation down here. So I know that this can't be a 4. Can't be a 0, it must be a 2. Same with this. Can't be a 4, same exact reason. Can't be a 0, must be a 2. So let's just mark that. These E's are 2's. And because, again, I know that we have 6 in these 3 columns, that means that this must also be a 2 somehow in here. Okay. Let's take a look now at the odd clues. What can these be? Well, it can only be a 1 or a 3. It can't be 5. So let's do a little thinking. If this were a 1, it would have to be here. Because if it were a 1 here, if it were a 1, I would need each of these regions to have a star in it. Otherwise I get that invalid pattern where there's 6 bunched up. Now, by the way, 6 can be bunched up sometimes in the middle of the grid, but never on the edge of the grid. Never in such a way that it can only fit 3 here. That could potentially fit something like this and then have 2 here and 2 here. So this isn't always invalid, but it is in times that I'm concerned about. And around this O, it's always going to be invalid. This is invalid, it only allows 3 in those 2 columns. This is invalid as well. So I know that if this is a 1 clue, then it has to be in the center to avoid those patterns, which now has an effect on this O. This only has room for 1, it can't put 3 in here anymore. So it has to be a 1, also there. So if either of these are 1, then I get my 2 stars here. Now what's the opposite? If one of these is a 3, what does that mean? Well, if it's a 3, I know that there must be 2 here, because if there's only 1 here, then I gotta put another one here and here. Well, really, here and here. Sorry, if there's only 1 in that is shared between these 2 clues, that means I have to put 2 here. And now I've got 5. I've only got 1 more to put in these 3 columns, and I can't put it. I could put it either up here and leave this to have the invalid pattern, or here and leave that to have the invalid pattern. So if this is a 1 clue, it must be here and here. If it's a 3 clue, I know that this must be on. So either way, I can never put anything here. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. So what is this O region? How many are in here? Well, it can't be 1 because that would just be terrible. It can't be 1. It can't be 5 because there's a maximum of 4 2x2 areas that I can have it in. So this is very clearly a 3, which means that in these rows I must now have, what is 8 minus 3, 5? I must have 5 more. So that's, let's see, and 2 of them are here. So I must have 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll just do this. I do like this. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and now I can start marking off a little more. So this is a 2, but now I can remove some of this shading. So this is a 2. This can be deleted. Okay. So now I've got 2. I know I can't put 2 here like this because then that forces an invalid pattern here. 1, 2, 3. Well, also, if I put 2 here, then this would be the old invalid pattern. Can't make it work. So this can't be 2, it must be 1. So these are off. This must be on. And I'll go ahead and, yeah, remove that. Don't need that anymore. Okay. Let's see, what was next? This is the second time I've solved it, but I'll have to resolve it. Okay, I think at one point I noticed that there must be exactly 1 in here, because if it's a 1, it's here, and if it's a 3, there's 2 here, and 1 up here. So this accounts for exactly 1. What did that mean? Oh yeah, I think I also figured this out. Okay, so this is no longer 2. That was invalid when I wrote it. So this is exactly 1. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means these are 3. I need exactly 1 more in the remaining cells. Okay. So let's think more about this E. What would be in here? Could it be a 2 or a 4? If it were a 2, that would mean I have, let's see, what would that mean? I know there's already 1 here, and I know there's already 1 here. I can't put 2 there. Yeah, I know there's 1 here and 1 there. So if it were a 2, that would mean both of these would be off. Oh, I forget, what was it? Yeah, so here's the part where I need to remember the breakthrough. Right, it was here. This is also exactly 1 for the same reason. Either it's a 1 clue, means it's there, or it's a 3 clue with 2 here and 1 here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that means because this is a 3, I've got 1, 2, there's only 1 in here. And means there's 3 here. Okay. And now I know there was 1 here, so there's nothing there. Here we go. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know there's at least 1 here, so there must be 4 total. Okay, I know that there's exactly 1 here, but also there's 1 in here. So this got to be off. That's what I meant to do. So now there's 1 here from the orange. Okay. Right. Oh yeah, there's only 1 in the yellow, so I see now that this is a 1. Because this is a 1, obviously I gotta have just 1 in here, I can't put 3 in there. Okay. One here. Okay, now what can this O be? It's got to be a 3. I can get rid of all that now. Okay, so what's left besides that? Okay, so this has got to have 3, and it does. This has got to have even, and it does. This has got to be even. And when I last solved this, it was, I feel like, a little bifurcating. Let's see if we can do better this time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's done. 1, 2, 3, there's 1 here. Okay, now this has to have 3, and it already has 2, so I know that exactly 1 of these is on, therefore that's off. I've got 2 here, so those are off. That's on. Okay, now I think the E is the key. This E. So this is 1 of each. So I know I can't put 2 here. I can't have 2 outside. I would force 2 here, forcing 2 here. So there's at least 1 here. There's at most 1 here, at least 1 here. So that's at least 2. So this is E is either a 2 or a 4. If it was a 4, it would be like this. If it were a 2, this would be like that. There would be 1 here and 1 there. And this is what breaks. If I turn both of these off, then it forces this. I know there's got to be exactly 1 here. So that means I have fetching starts. That is the conclusion I came to last time, and it's not too bad. So I know there's at least 1 here. So the question is, could this be 2? If it was 2, it would be up here. And so this exactly 1 there, 1 there. This forces that. Yeah, so that's very solid. So I know that it's not 2, in fact it is 4. So now we can just finish up. Got to be 4 in there, and there's that. The end. Very nice puzzle. I really liked the ideas between the E's here, and then getting virtual groups, and then breaking them down into just little groups of 3 or 2. Yeah, very fun. Not easy, especially the first time, but very fun. Thank you.